And there we go. What's going on, guys? Mara here, back again with another video, and today I have a Raiden Shogun video guide for you guys, and we managed to get her to level 90, which I thought was not possible, but thanks to some of you guys, we managed to do it. And today I'm just gonna share all the weapons, artifacts, and also the team compositions of Raiden Shogun with you guys, so let's get started. Alright, so before we get into her weapons, artifacts, and all that good stuff, I just wanted to share with you the talent that makes Baal or Raiden Shogun so good, and that is the Enlightened One. So for every 1% above 100% energy recharge that Raiden Shogun possesses, it grants her 0.6% greater energy restoration from Musou Ishin, and also a 0.4% electro damage bonus, which means every 1% that is above the base 100% energy recharge will grant her 0.4% electro damage bonus. So if you have 100% bonus energy recharge, that will grant her 40% electro damage bonus. And we'll get to why this is so good in a bit, but let's proceed with the weapons first. Alright, so for Raiden Shogun, her best weapon is going to be the Engulfing Lightning, and also the Catch, which is the 4-star polearm that gives energy recharge that you can attain for free in the fishing event. And if you don't know how to get started, I will put a link somewhere up there for you to my guide video, which will show you how to get started on fishing. But those two weapons are the best in slot for 5-star and 4-star weapons respectively. Now, alternatively, you could use other weapons like the Favonius Lance, which also give energy recharge, but is not as effective because the base energy recharge for the Favonius Lance is not as high. Alternatively, if you don't have all these options, then you could go for the crit rate or crit damage options like the Deathmatch or the Black Cliff, or if you have some of the 5-star weapons, then Staff of Homa or the Primordial Jade Wing Spear. So those crit rate / crit damage weapons are kind of the tier 2 weapons below the energy recharge. So if you do have an energy recharge main stat weapon, I highly suggest you use it because she scales so well with energy recharge weapons. Next, we move on to her artifacts. So for her artifacts, if you guys have played her in the trial, you would have known that in the trial she uses 2-piece Severed Fate and also 2-piece Thundering Fury, which I found to be really weird because from my testing, I did find that the 4-piece Emblem of Severed Fate gave her more damage, especially when she has her Q up, which is every like 18 seconds, because energy is not a problem for Raiden Shogun. She will always be able to get her elemental burst up, and therefore I feel like the 4-piece Emblem of Severed Fate is the best set for her. Now, getting into the artifacts itself, for the flower, I have focused more on energy recharge and also crit rate and crit damage and a little bit of attack percent. And for the feather, for the substats, is the same thing. Energy recharge is my priority, followed by crit damage as well. And the other stats are just there because I didn't have a choice. Now, for the timepiece, you actually want energy recharge on her timepiece. And this will be better than the standard attack percent. And I will show you guys why. So, energy recharge, she scales really well with it. As we said earlier, the talents convert some of her bonus extra energy recharge into electro damage bonus, which is really good. So this is really good for her. Next, for her goblet, this is where it gets a little bit interesting. So instead of using electro damage percent on her goblet, Raiden Shogun actually works better with an attack percent main stat goblet, and the reason is because of her talent. So remember in the talent, right at the start of the video, I said that she any excess energy above 100% energy recharge will give you 0.4% electro damage. So that conversion, after you build all the energy recharge on her, she's gonna have about maybe 250% energy recharge, and her electro damage is going to be at a solid 50 to 60%. So if you have another electro damage goblet main stat added to that, that will give you like really bad diminishing returns. And I have tested this, and I was getting about 20% more damage with this attack percent main stat goblet as compared to the electro damage bonus main stat goblet that I was using. So Attack percent is definitely the way to go here for the main stat. As for the substats, you want to go for crit rate, crit damage as usual, and also energy recharge if you could. Now, moving on to the circlet is as usual the crit rate or crit damage depending on which you lack. And for the substats, you want either crit rate or crit damage, the other one. And also the same things like energy recharge, attack percent, and yeah, that's basically it for the artifacts. Lastly, we move on to team composition, and because Raiden Shogun is such a good sub DPS with her elemental skill and such a good burst DPS with her elemental burst, she fits in a lot of teams as long as they make good use of her elemental skill. So over here is a comp that I have found to work really well, and that is Eula as my main DPS, and then the sub DPS in Raiden Shogun, and of course Zhongli is my tank, shield, and also the resistance shred, and Diona acting as the battery for Eula to get her elemental burst up. So over here, this takes advantage of the superconduct that Eula and Raiden Shogun is able to put out, and because that decreases the physical resistance of the enemies, Eula can just go ham with her very high physical DPS. And over here, we have something that is similar, but I've put the 4-star characters. So over here, Rosaria is the cryo physical DPS, and Diona once again will be the battery as well as the healer, and Noelle is there for the tank. And this will work really well as long as your Rosaria is physically built. Alright, moving on to the next composition is something that I have always wanted to try ever since I heard about Raiden Shogun, and that is Raiden Shogun, Diluc, Tartaglia, and lastly Jean as a healer. So what this does is it takes advantage of Raiden Shogun's and Tartaglia's elements to form Electro Charge. And if you hit it with Diluc's Pyro attacks, the Pyro element will actually react with both the Electro element to form Overload and the Hydro element to form Vaporize, and your damage will be really high, especially if you're running Witch set 4-piece on Diluc, which you should. And Jean's there kind of just as a healer and a sub DPS whenever I switch her in. So yeah, I have also made a budget-friendly team that also makes use of this same principle, in that Yanfei is my Pyro DPS, and then I have Xingqiu and I have Raiden Shogun to form the Electro Charge, and Sayu's there for the healing. So that was all the team compositions that I have thought about, and if you guys have any other team compositions in mind that you want me to try out, feel free to leave them in the comment section below, and I will let you know once I've tried them out. And also, if you have tried some team comps and it worked for you, do leave them in the comment section below as well. I would love to know who you put in your Raiden Shogun team. So that's gonna be it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope this video has been a little bit helpful for you guys. So yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace!